big part, big part of our team, and a leader of young men is Shawn, his wife, and his children have been such a great blessing since the first time they walked in the door. And a teacher and a coach, and just wanted him to testify this morning about the goodness of God. I told him, I said, this morning I want you to say great things about your pastor, but I was kidding, so don't do that. But I want him to say good things about the Lord. And so just before Kendall comes, I want Shawn to come and just greet everybody and say something good about the Lord. We're going to bring more team members to the platform all the time, just to say something good about God and about what's going on. And you can be seated just for a minute. Everybody say, God bless Shawn.
I don't have the podium or anything here, so I feel a little really exposed. Brother Whitley asked me to say some great things about the church, which is easy, but he also told me to say great things about him, and I've been thinking the entire time, and I can't come up with any. I mean, it was the hardest question I've ever had asked is to say something good about him. But AJ and I were talking, and in our small group, a couple of others were in there, and it was a very, very small group this morning, very intimate. And we started talking about just the power of the church. And I can say this, I'll just say this before I start, that God is good. God is good all the time. But how we can grow this church. And this church has been a blessing not only to me and my family, but probably to, well, I can say this with confidence, but blessings to you and your family as well. And being a teacher and a coach, especially on the coaching part, I've had to recruit for 7 years. And recruiting is very difficult when you have to convince a young person that the choice that they make in their life is the right choice, and that right choice is, that specific school or that specific team. And I brought up in small groups this morning that you can drive down any road in the state of Arkansas, and you can find just this road right here, you'll find 7 or 8 churches within a mile. And what could we do to make sure that we're telling everyone that this is the place for them, that this is the right place for them? So I'm going to do my best from now on to recruit to this church, and it's easy. I mean, recruiting to this church is easy. The first step is you got to get them here, and then let God do the rest. Because as Brother Whitley said, to say some good things about the church or say some good things about him, I couldn't even start trying to tell you good things about me, but I can tell you good things about Jesus, and that's probably the biggest thing. I don't have to sell this church, right? I don't have to promote this church. I don't have to promote the singing or the preaching or the small groups or the congregation. All I have to do is point to Jesus, and I'll just let him do the rest. Brother Spurlock picked a great song to start off, and that was "No Place I'd Rather Be." And the other day it was, I think you sang that, "No Place I'd Rather Be." And I always tell my players that if you'd rather be somewhere but here, that's where you need to be, and that's challenging. If you'd rather be somewhere than right here, right now, then that's probably where you need to be, but you made the right choice because you're here, right? So that's always been my challenge when I wake up in the morning is I need to be there. If I'd rather be somewhere else, that's where I need to be, but there's no place I'd rather be than right here, right now. And every time I listen to Brother Whitley, he tells me something new, which is difficult because I think I'm a pretty smart guy until I show up here. And then he tells me all the things that I didn't know. And just today, in that short time that he was preaching, I found out a few things, about what today is. And what a blessing it is to be here and celebrate those days, the day of Pentecost, right? Right? The Memorial Day, right? What two great events to put together, and what a brilliant way for him to, and I am saying something good about you. I don't know how we got there, but what a great way for him to show that today is about, and what power that today is about walking in the blood of those who have sacrificed. And I'll just end with something that AJ and I were talking about, is that here at this church, you're challenged as a believer, but also you're welcomed. Right, you're welcome. I don't want to say welcomed as a sinner, but that's how I was welcomed. So you're challenged once you believe, but you're welcomed as who you are. So maybe that's the word that we need to spread, so we can fill up this sanctuary. And it isn't until you stand right here that you realize that we go from one side to the other, and how much more room that we have to spare, and just put everybody in it. I guess if everybody invites one, Right? The best recruiting tool I tell my players is you're not selling me, you're not selling the school, you're selling the program, and the players are the best recruiters. And right now, if we're on Brother Whitley's team, if we're on God's team, you're the best recruiters that are out there. And if you can get one or two people to come with you, they'll tell all the great things that happen. They'll tell them of the good news, and then we'll fill this place up. Just want to say bless you and have a great day the rest of the day.